Welcome back to Winners Win Football Podcast, where we make weekly wrong football predictions and mispronunciations. In this episode, we're going to talk about
Arsenal versus Real Madrid. A prediction which we kind of got right. We both predicted that we were going to score 3 goals.
Yeah.
We did. However, we predicted you would score. You didn't.
I did say...
Yeah.
My heart is telling me 3-2. My brain is telling me 4-0, 5-0.
Yeah.
No, 4-1, 5-1. Technically...
It could have been.
It could have been.
Man, Courtois...
I feel like my prediction was more spot on than you.
I said 3-1.
But I said 4-1.
You're 2 goals off. I'm 1.
I mean, where do we start?
Where do we start?
I don't want to turn this into a rant.
Okay. But you will
Fast
rant.
forward 1 hour.
He will rant.
I will rant. Can I rant?
Go ahead.
Let me rant.
My pleasure.
We start this podcast out of all years when Real Madrid is playing Arsenal.
We have played each other for
You've been
20 years.
shite.
For so long.
For so long.
Yeah.
I recently watched a video about when Henri left you.
Yeah.
So since 2006, you've been quite...
Correct. Horrendous.
Oh, if we're talking
Abysmal.
Champions League perspective.
We're talking any perspective.
I mean, at least you challenged for the league the past 2 years. But in Champions League perspectives, you've been horrendous.
Yeah.
We start the podcast this year, and Ancelotti chooses to go into a game against Arsenal away. A respectable team.
Yeah.
A team that's been second quite consistent the past...
Against good city teams.
Against good city teams the past 3 years.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd year.
Yes.
You go to Emirates, and you have 0 tactics. There was no tactics.
There was no thought.
There was no soul in that team. There was no fight. We ran 12 kilometers less than Arsenal. That means we were 1 player less.
In terms of distance covered.
In terms of distance covered. It's really, if you think about it, it is 1 player less.
Yes. When you look at the
because when you run, let's say I pass you the ball and then I run, that's 2 players.
Yeah, you take it out of the game.
So we're playing with 1 player less.
Yeah.
And we're also playing with Mbappe. So we're playing with 2 players less.
Mbappe and Vinicius. In the press, neither of them really gives you any sort of chances, anything. Because in this game, what made the difference, you played quite narrow. You tried to force us out on the wings, and you see Mbappe and Vinicius standing in the middle. And several times, Raya, as he passed Partey in the middle, and he was able to turn and then pass forward. Why was he allowed the time and the space by Vinicius and Mbappe?
If you don't run in the Champions League quarterfinal away from home at the Emirates, when are you going to run?
Yeah.
Because I thought we came to a deal, Mbappe. I thought me and you, we had a deal.
We came to an agreement.
You didn't have to run in the small La Liga games against like mid-table teams, bottom teams.
But now.
But in the big Champions League games, you kind of do have to run.
You
didn't.
And look what happened. You know what I like?
If you don't run, wait. If you don't run, at least score your chances. You didn't.
Yeah, did it again. But you know what I like? Every time someone dunks on Mbappe or does something crazy, like when Rice scored his free kick, he just turned around with, like, what can I say? It was crazy.
I'm so tired of seeing the highlights after each goal of Mbappe going, brother, do something.
Switch it up. Do something different. Nah, but I understand what you mean. You can afford to have 1 of these players in your team, but not 2.
I don't think you can afford even 1 nowadays.
Yeah, 1 is a stretch. At the top level.
Nowadays, before you could afford 1.
Yeah,
but nowadays you can't.
Yeah, and that's the difficult part. Now is when you have 2 of them, and the problem with Mbappe, it speaks for himself. He's playing at PSG. They were not doing well in the Champions League. Enrique calls him out, says, you need to take the teams on your shoulders and carry them for you, like Michael Jordan, whatever. He leaves PSG. He goes to you guys. You guys just won the Champions League. What happened? You now look way worse than you did last year. And what happened to PSG? They're looking one of the most entertaining, most tactically complete teams in Europe right now.
If you look at last year, we ran. If you look at the Man City away game, we ran.
Yeah.
We had to run.
Yeah.
What's happening? Mbappe,
Please.
I'm gonna give you an out,
Okay.
an ultimatum.
Score 5 goals against Arsenal.
If you win, if you contribute
Yep.
in the remontada against Arsenal, you are forgiven. Especially after the shit you pulled up today with the red card.
Talk about that later.
We talk about it later. But you have one ultimatum. Now, you joined Madrid to win the Champions League. You joined Madrid. You said it yourself. You joined Madrid for the big nights, for the Champions League nights at the Bernabeu. If you do not perform against Arsenal at home when we need you the most, my friend, you are no Real Madrid legend or on the precipice of being a Real Madrid legend.
Big words.
You're not even close. And now, on to
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
The big performance.
Let's
Let's talk a
Rice.
bit about the man of the moment, Declan Rice. I mean, I felt like during the game we dominated the entire performance. We had chances, even though you had some, you like the Mbappe one, you had some chances.
I
but
feel like first half was still
a bit back and forth, but I felt like we were still in control of the game. But even with control of the game, Saka created several opportunities. We didn't look like we were scoring. I was getting a bit nervous because after the first half, I was like, okay, we haven't scored yet. This is the time where Real Madrid start kicking in. Like 60th minute, that's when they, okay, now we have a chance. Now we go for the kill. That's when you need your big players to step up and deliver those big moments. And Declan Rice has never scored a free kick in his career. Now he has 2 in the same game. 2 incredible
By the way, I saw
free
him
kicks.
practice a free kick now.
After
Before the Brentford game.
Yeah.
Missed.
And that's the thing. He missed in training, but in the big moment when the team truly needed him, that's when he pulled them over the line. And that's a legacy-defining moment. This is the moment where everyone will be like, yeah, he's a good player, right? Yeah, Declan Rice. Now they will remember his name.
He's really an engine of the team.
He
does everything.
Truly the engine of our team.
The free kicks were outstanding, both free kicks.
But
incredible. And the game was still weighing.
Yeah, but he totally swung it in our favor because of those 2 incredible actions. But it's not, when we're talking about Declan Rice, it's not only that, now he scored 2 goals. Throughout his Arsenal career, which is only been 1.5 years, he scored last moment winners. He scored against, what's they call, Luton Town last year. Against Manchester United, he scored last minute winner. He, against United this season, last minute of the game, 1-1. Højlund came free against the goalkeeper, last minute tackle. He has these moments, in the big moments, in the defining moments of a game, he always delivers, he steps up. And that's for me, is the sign of a truly great player. When the team truly needs you, he delivers. And he does it at both ends of the pitch, scoring goals or defensive actions.
He's an 8, box to box. Perfect kind of player.
Now he is, but
I think that's his better position, though. I don't think he should be a CDM.
The thing is so difficult.
He's a box to box.
As a 6, I think he's the best in the world, me personally. But then as an 8, he also delivers to a high-class, world-class level. So it's like, it depends on what you need. But when you have a player that's that good,
if you buy Zubimendi, then I think Declan, that's his best position.
Yeah, probably. So, and like when you look at the game, both in our entire setup, our entire structure, that's why when we spoke about earlier, I was like, I would rather play you guys than Atletico because I think tactically it's a better matchup for us.
Yeah.
And you can see it throughout the game. And that's when I say Arteta is such a good coach. He completely understood how are we going to approach this game. He prepared them for exact moments in the game. You can see it from the first to the last minute. Merino's goal came about from this exact thing I want to talk about. When Luis Skelly inverts from the left back into the midfield, Rodrigo follows him. That makes your right side or our left is completely open. So Rice goes out there and Merino drops back into the midfield. So the midfield is like, okay, Merino's here, we need to take care of him. And Rice is out on our left or your right.
And he did that so many times.
So many times.
Ran around our midfield.
And the third goal is exactly that. We played Merino drops down, plays the ball out to Rice on the left hand side. He runs half the pitch. Trossard back to Luis Kelly, who's now has lost his market because Rodrigo is thinking, okay, now he's in midfield. It's not my man anymore. And the midfield is like, okay, Rice is over there, Merino's over there. We have to take care of him. Skelly gets the ball, and Merino now has a new position, take a new position with no defenders because they don't know who they're gonna mark. And it's a beautiful finish, of course, but it's a well-worked goal. If you look at the entire structure,
Merino is a world-class striker.
World-class striker.
Honestly, appreciate him while you have him. I didn't appreciate Bellingham last season as a false nine.
Yeah.
Appreciate Merino.
Yeah.
That's a very underrated player.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing bad to say against him. He's doing everything that you would ever want from your player and more. And that's the thing, like,
yeah, but
we have to appreciate it.
Yeah, but Miles Lewis Kelly, what a guy! I mean,
imagine at 18 years old.
I didn't notice him, but what I'm hearing, like after the game, like in the game, I think I was too lost
in emotions.
Yeah, I was too pissed at Mbappe to focus on anything else.
Yeah, but
all I could see was we had no plan how to reach the other goal.
Yeah,
and we had no structure on how to defend. But at 18 now?
18 years old.
18.
Your debut season
at the quarterfinals of the Champions League against Real Madrid.
And boss like that. Boss.
Quite impressive.
It's very impressive. And that's the thing. This guy he's as far as I've seen, he's very humble, but he still has the swagger about him. He still has a persona, the personality that I believe in myself and I back myself to play at the highest level and go against the biggest teams and the best players, and to still think I can go up against them.
But speaking of swagger,
yeah,
I think that swagger
could be
the dagger in the return leg.
We'll see. We can talk about it when we talk about the preview for the game.
Yeah.
But another player I want to big up from the Arsenal game, which I don't think a lot of people has really touched on, is Saka.
Yeah.
Because
I think a lot of people have touched on.
For me, because nowadays people analyze football like goals or assists.
Yeah.
He didn't score. He didn't assist.
I mean, technically he created both free kicks.
It was him.
Yeah.
He basically turned Bellingham into a left midfielder because Alaba and Ancelotti was like, yeah, you gotta help me, please help me, it's too much.
And that's Ancelotti.
And this is a Saka that's 50-50, he's not 100% fit yet, and he's still being able to do this at the highest level.
Can I just put in?
Yeah.
How do you start Alaba as left back when he hasn't played like that in 2 years?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, Fran Garcia is not the best left back, but at least he does the better job than that.
Do you think? But he might...
Yeah, because at least he can push forward, and that will push Saka backwards as well. Like, if you have some attacking strength in your left back, it does take away a bit from the opposing right winger.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, but Saka, the thing that people are forgetting, he has 15 games in the Champions League for us so far in his career. 8 goals, 6 assists. So per night he has a goal involvement. And I know it's not many games yet, but we haven't been in... Why are you crying? You need support pillow.
I'm getting flashbacks now.
You see Saka, tick, tick, tick. The thing, and when people say like, Saka, he needs his pace or whatever, I'm like, no, this guy, he walks past opponents. It's not that he's running with his pace, using his pace back and forth. He's just waiting. As soon as someone tries to get the ball, it goes on the left or the right.
There are 2 chances where if you had a proper striker,
Merino.
Not that I'm talking about Merino.
No. Yeah, but a striker that attacks the box, because Merino is not the striker because he isn't one. He's not a true striker. He created, like I said, he always creates 1 or 2 of those kinds of chances where you think like, okay, they have him, bam, one seconds later, crosses it in. And
but I think about Saka that I really respected.
Yeah.
2 things. And this doesn't have to be, like, nothing to do with the game itself.
Yeah.
It's more the mental aspects. First of all, the press conference before the game, where they tell him, do you think of yourself as Mbappe, Vinicius level? He's like, oh, I don't compare myself that way.
Yeah.
I like...
you know what I liked about it? It was like, he was pissed when they asked that question. It's like, for him, I think he is like, yeah, I am
Of
on the
course
same,
I am,
I'm on the same
yeah.
level, because now he has shared the pitch twice with Mbappe.
Yeah.
This time and against France with England in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Both games he was the by far better player than him. So for him, it's like, of course I am this level of players.
Yeah, yeah.
But and the Spanish media afterwards, I think it was Marca, I don't know which publication.
Yeah.
There was like they gave him a nickname. You know what they called him?
Oh.
The torture. He was like he tortured that Madrid side, and that's the thing. Like,
And another thing that I really liked about him was Declan Rice came out after the game and he
Yeah.
was like, before the free kick,
everyone.
he was like, Saka told him, he's like, if you feel like it, go for it.
Yeah,
Everyone
I
was
know.
telling him to cross
the ball,
goal.
cross the ball. The
And
goal.
Saka was the Bukayo. He was like,
Bukayo.
if you feel it, bro, do it.
Yeah, and you know, people always say like,
It's like Yoda.
do what you shall.
Do what you shall feel.
Score that goal, you should. No, but
I kind of got the image of Yoda. Bukayo Yoda.
and people say like, Arteta is a dictator at Arsenal, whatever. But I think this guy is dictator because Arteta is always he's like
Bukayo.
yeah, with Saka. No, in the best way, because he's
Yeah.
like Arteta was like, yeah, I didn't want to play Saka for a couple of months ago, but
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, put me on. I don't care. Just play me.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to feel like he is the one that's calling the shots. But behind the scenes, like Ødegaard, the captain, comes up to Rice and says, yeah, put the cross in. The coach saying put the cross
Yeah.
in, and then Saka is like, do it, bro. Yes, go ahead. And this is the kind of guy I think he is. We have this kind of image that he's the cute guy, he's humble, whatever. But
there is something.
But I think he's obviously he's a competitor. But
I mean, this game I saw some different side to Saka.
yes, and I think there's a lot of that which we don't recognize truly about him.
Yeah.
Before we switch to the preview of the next game, quick shout out to Timber as well. Locked down the right side.
Down Vinicius.
Vinicius Rodrigo, first time ever in a Champions League game they start together. Neither completed a dribble. I think it was more they have that bad game, but Timber did his job as well. So very happy
He's the
with
new
that.
Walker.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the pace. But he
But
can
he
lock
has the
down-
same mentality.
He locks it down.
Yeah.
I love Timber. I'm so happy that we got him. And then Arteta, spot on tactics. Always, like I told you, this guy is the truth. I love him.
Now, on to the preview.
The preview at the Bernabeu.
Let me set up the scene.
Okay. Here comes the delusion.
Real Madrid are losing 3-0. Okay? Bernabeu, Ultrasur, are hooligans. They're outside the stadium. The team bus is on its way to the stadium.
Yeah.
Fireworks. Shouting. Ancelotti, you suck. It's on the way to the Bernabeu. And you're also on the way to the Bernabeu,
Yep.
your team. And you started to feel it a bit. The bus is driving into the Bernabeu. You see the greatness of this new Bernabeu stadium. It started to kick in a bit. You feel the greatness. You feel it.
It's up your ass.
It's up your ass. And then you change. You get out into the pitch. You see how huge Bernabeu is.
Yep.
Roof closed.
Closed.
Shouting.
It just echoes.
The Real
throughout.
Madrid anthem. Nada más. It's getting smaller and smaller. And the pitch is getting bigger and bigger. The crowd is getting closer. You start the game. Hey, we've been training. We've been playing like this for 3 years.
Yeah. And then Mbappe gets a red card.
You can get a goal. It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead.
okay.
You can get a goal. It's okay.
Here, take it, mister.
Then somehow Mbappe scores one, or Rudiger scores a header. Okay. And then the crowd starts cheering. Okay. Miles Lewis Kelly gets emotional.
Okay.
Tackles Rodrigo. Red card. We're 11 against 10 now.
12, you mean? The ref is gonna be on your side.
We're 11. The crowd is 13.
Okay, 13 against 10.
13 against 10.
14 Martin Perez is also there.
Vinicius grows some balls.
It's taken him several years.
Fucking dribbles past Timber somehow. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, this is a fantasy, okay?
Okay. Mbappe, he's like, okay, this is the moment I have to. Scores. Rodrigo scores. Now we're 3-1.
And then it's
the last minute. Asensio scores
an own goal.
Okay, let's. We had a live before this, but let me just tell you what my heart is saying.
Yes.
My heart is saying.
My heart's telling me no.
At least. My heart is saying remontada. A 4-1 and then extra time and then we score. Or
extra time.
A Dortmund scenario where we score 2 goals. Like now we just need 1 goal and you make it really, really close.
Yeah.
And it's really, really tough.
Yeah.
And you get so nervous. You start shitting your pants. But somehow we miss some chance here and there throughout the game and it's like 1 goal deficit. It's okay. I can accept that scenario. So I don't have a problem with that scenario.
So just lose by a goal margin.
That's what my heart is saying. My brain is saying Arsenal hasn't conceded more than 2 goals in 400 days.
Yeah. It's looking peak.
It's looking peak. But I just can't fathom that in the Bernabeu 90 minutes go by in a return leg in the Champions League without it getting close.
Yeah, at least being in there. At least there is a sense of we can do.
Like at least 20 minutes of like shit.
Yeah,
this is about to slip away.
Yeah,
I cannot imagine it.
No, I can understand that. I can respect it. But like you said, this is a different type of Arsenal team. If like I asked you this question before, if you were 3 goals down to Atletico in the Champions League, you would feel like okay, it's over. And I think we are better defensively than Atletico Madrid.
We've beaten Atletico Madrid 3-0 once in the Bernabeu.
Once?
In the Champions League.
Once.
In the Champions League semi-final.
And did you have Mbappe?
We had Ronaldo.
Okay. At least he's one of the best players.
Hey, Mbappe scored a hat-trick against City, just so you know.
That's City. That's City.
Pipe down.
That's City. Their defense are not the same level that we are. But I think, honestly, when I'm looking at the game, what's the most important thing for us is not to succumb to those things that you are talking about are true, because I think there's become this Champions League myth around Real Madrid. Like everyone gets scared.
But the thing is, you can't escape the myth. Like the greatest teams have played in the Bernabeu, and they try to escape. The only team that hasn't is Barcelona.
Or Chelsea. Kind of. No, Chelsea kind of.
We beat them two times the last time.
But one of their games, if it wasn't for Werner, they would have won. But anyways, doesn't matter. I think for us, it's so important to focus on playing the team, because we could see when we played at the Emirates, we could compete with you guys. We were superior in most aspects. So when you look at the teams, when you look at player for player, we can compete. We can perform against you guys. But if we start thinking, oh my God, remember when they did the remontada, this back and forth, and when you hear the anthem, everything, that's the problem.
If Arteta plays the Real Madrid anthem in the back, you are losing, my friend. Arteta's gonna mentally prepare them for the Bernabeu, and then you gotta just.
I think Arteta knows how to deal with it. But will the players be able to handle it? That's the thing.
Actually,
I think
if you could play 0-0 against City last year, when City were quite good,
and we needed a result.
You can do it. You can do it in the Bernabeu.
And that's the thing. I believe we can.
Yeah, my brain says it's gonna be like you're gonna lock it down.
Yeah,
but my heart says,
I don't think
my heart says 90 minutes are very long at the Bernabeu.
For sure they are, but I think we don't need to lock it down, because if we keep the ball, for example, we know we can play through your press. We know because we know that it's not up to, it's not good enough. And being able to play around, because now there's a sense from the home fans, like you have to go for it. they will be too eager to press the ball.
But the
And
thing
when you do that, you make yourself vulnerable.
But the thing is with Bernabeu, it's not about you playing better. You can play better,
But
there are moments in the Bernabeu that you will
We just
concede like.
It just shifts.
Yeah, like 3 goals can come in 3 minutes. It's not over 90 minutes.
Yeah, and that's we talked about it. Like when Trent, I was talking about around Trent. Like you have game deciders, just decides an entire game just in one moment.
I think the first half is gonna be quite
Even.
equal. You might be better in the first half.
I think you'll
be better.
I think we will be better, honestly.
But the second half,
Yeah,
I can imagine a PSG scenario.
we against Barcelona. I mean,
No, Real Madrid PSG.
Real Madrid. Okay.
But we lose at the end. Like it's 3-1. It's not enough.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Like most likely, I would say it's gonna get closed, but we're not gonna get.
I don't think it's gonna be that close. I think in this game, I think we will score first. Honestly, that's what I think.
Alright.
From my brain,
yeah, most probably.
My brain, I say we score first. We then concede either 1 or 2, and then we score again. So I think either 2-1 to us or 2-2.
Alright.
That's what I believe. But for me, an important thing, Partey got injured. You know, Partey has a court case in Spain, so I don't think he wants to go to Spain.
Injured.
He got injured. It's like, I'm injured. And what's even worse is Jorginho got injured as well. Not that I would want him to play at Bernabeu, but we don't have.
So who is your midfield?
It will probably become Rice, Odegaard, and Merino.
So Marino is not playing forward.
Yeah, and that's bad for us because we need a physical presence up top. I feel like it will become then
Gonna be
Trossard, and I don't like that. He's not good enough for the big games. He can come on and have a impact, but as a substitute, not as a starter.
I think you'll lock it down. I think you can easily lock it down.
I don't think we will because I think we're good enough to keep the ball.
I mean, in moments, of course, you keep the ball.
Of course, in moments we will suffer. Where you will have the ball, but.
Yeah.
We watched the Atletico Real Madrid game together, and you could barely break those guys down when you played against them. And I think would be a similar situation because I think in a settled defensive formation, I think we are the best team in the world. City played against us an entire half with 1 man more than us, and they couldn't do anything.
We shall see, bro. The Bernabeu doesn't make sense.
Yeah, of course.
Like I know logic says that.
Yeah.
But Bernabeu, I'm not saying Bernabeu everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm saying Bernabeu return leg Champions
League
defies logic, but the myth might be over.
But there's got to be an exception. There's got to be an exception somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's what I think. Arteta is good at breaking those kind of curses. He always does that. He's done it for us since he's become our manager.
And Mbappe, you gotta get your shit together, man. It's time.
Very important for. So, your prediction. I said I think it's gonna be 2-1 to us or 2-2. That's my prediction for the game.
3-1.
3-1. Okay, so we go through.
You go through. How much did you say?
2-2.
2-2. 3-1.
Let us know your predictions. What do you think is gonna happen? Who will get through? Can Arsenal finally beat Real Madrid?
They cannot. Not.